Hey Dragons, welcome to your Venus in retrograde video. Venus is going to be retrograde from July 22nd till September 3rd of 2023. This is going to be where we are reevaluating our friendships, our relationship to ourselves, our appearance, reevaluating our relationship to money, our money in general, and reevaluating ourselves. So without further ado, let's get started with Aries and go all the way to Pisces. Hello Aries and Aries rising, but most accurately Aries rising. Welcome to your Venus retrograde for July 22nd through September 4th of 2023. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this is going to be the cliche for you guys. Everybody's saying your ex is coming back, telling everybody. Well, you guys actually may be the ones that this is happening to. Why? Because Venus, the planet of love, romance, beauty, children, finances, etc. But a lot of the times love is going to be retrograde in your fifth house of creativity, love, romance, etc. So for some of you, you could actually see an old fling come back, because sometimes fifth house can represent flings, or because Venus rules your seventh house of one-on-one partnerships, there could be an actual person that you had a romantic partnership with, maybe a long-term relationship of some sort, where this person actually ends up coming back to you. Now, the seventh house isn't always about love. It can represent business partnerships. So there could be somebody that comes back from your past where this person may want to partner up with you in regards to some kind of business partnership, maybe wanting to go back and rebrand a business or restart a business of some sort, because the fifth house can also represent entrepreneurship or a business, self-owned business mostly. Just checking out my notes here. So you also have Venus ruling your second house of your self-worth, your self-value, your finances, etc. Now, Venus will be making squares to your second house. So I would really like to say, like, be careful during this time, blowing a bunch of money. I feel like for some of you, you're just going to simply regret it. Blowing a lot of money on some kind of partner, blowing a lot of money on children, even blowing a lot of money on some kind of business. And then you end up finding out, this doesn't really align with my values, or this isn't actually what I want. I feel like for some of you, you're going to be trying to have a lot more fun financially than you're ready for. So just be cautious, like I said, of blowing a bunch of money and then, turning around and kind of regretting it as well. For some of you, there could be maybe somebody that you're reuniting with, and maybe you want to focus on an old creative project that you left in the dust. Maybe you're going to be trying to revisit it now, but you could feel like things, especially if you have a self-owned business, you could feel like things are really slowing down in regards to that. So understand that this isn't going to last. When Venus goes direct, things will get a little bit easier in regards to that. But also keep in mind that whatever partnership does come back in your life, and because the South Node is going to be transiting your seventh house of intimate partnerships in general, and the second house being your self-worth and self-value, and with Venus going retrograde right now, I really feel like you are having a kind of come to Jesus moment about, do the people that I allow in my life align with my values? Are they supporting me? Do they find me valuable? Do they see my worth? And so I feel like this is more so going to be a reaffirmation of you, especially with the North Node in your sign. You're really going to be kicking ass and taking names, and Chiron's also in your first house. So there's going to be a lot of healing in regards to you. And so I feel like by the time this Venus retrograde is over, and by the time, especially the South Node is then transiting your seventh house of partnerships, I really think that you are going to have a bigger picture idea of who and what you're allowing into your life. Definitely glow up vibes, in my personal opinion. And so, there could be a final closing out or a closure of you and a partner, especially a past person, okay? Or even karma related to relationships is finally releasing. So thank you so much, Aries. Good luck to you for this Venus retrograde. I hope everything works out in your favor. And if you'd like to book a tarot reading with me, you can visit brattystarot.com, okay? Thank you so much, Aries. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, Taurus and Taurus rising. Welcome to your Venus retrograde for July 22nd through September 4th, 2023. I hope that you're doing well. Okay, so Taurus and Taurus risings, you're going to have, but most accurately Taurus risings, you're going to have Venus going retrograde in your fourth house. Fourth house is your home, family, real estate, your childhood, your relationship to your mother in general. And Venus is the planet of love, harmony, beauty, money, relationships. And so this is going to be especially important for you guys because you guys are actually ruled by Venus. So I'm wondering if for some of you, there may be something going on with you possibly rethinking your living situation. Maybe you are thinking of moving. Maybe you're thinking of relocating in some way. There could be something here where maybe because Venus is squaring your Uranus in the first house, be cautious with any impulsive decisions around buying a home, anything about redecorating the home. You could end up regretting it later. So your best bet is probably waiting until Venus goes direct after September. And so that way you have more of a clear head about what it is that you want or what you want your home to look like or moving, etc. Now, I understand if you got to move, you got to move. You know, it is what it is. But just some caution around this time. For some of you, you could also be rethinking your home and your family life. There could be some things around this time that could actually trigger you, especially with that square to Uranus in your first house. So there could be some kind of family dynamic or family situation that's kind of coming up that's making you be like, okay, this is not aligning with my values. I don't like this. You could be responding or reacting to a family member at this time that could actually be quite shocking to someone. Okay. I'm not saying it's got to be all bad. Okay. Just don't lose your head, lose your cool, etc. For some of you, you could be rethinking or rehashing having children, or like I said, where you want to live. Some of you could be deciding to visit your hometown, move back to your hometown even, and being with this square to Uranus, there could be a sense of you doing this spontaneously, kind of out of the blue. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to go for. There could be a past relative or a past childhood friend that kind of re-enters your life. Venus also rules your sixth house of health and work. So you could be going back to working from home if you've worked from home before. Maybe you're thinking about actually working from home if you've been, maybe working these odd jobs or working at an office or something like that. You could be thinking of actually, okay, well, maybe I want to work from home now. Maybe I want to work for myself. It could be something like that as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be. Or you could be thinking, okay, well, maybe I need to supplement my income in some way because you may feel at this time like money's a little tight, money could be a little tight. But I think with Jupiter here in your first house kind of accompanying Uranus and egging Uranus on and egging Venus on, Venus is you, and Jupiter being in your first house. So whatever Venus is doing, that's kind of what you're doing or the archetype of you. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of positivity around it. I just kind of want to say don't go crazy. Now also, the South Node is in Libra in your sixth house of daily work, routine, habits, etc. So Venus is ruling the South Node. And so I feel like with all of the signs, first of all, that Venus going retrograde in whichever house it's going retrograde in. So for you, home, family, real estate, your relationship to your mother, etc. I feel like for some of you, you are letting go of a job and actually wanting to work from home. Okay, for some of you, you guys are starting this reevaluation, rethinking of what you value when it comes to family and home life. And so for a lot of you, you're going to be letting go of any kind of bad habits that are not going to give you what it is that you want. And so now remember, the South Node going retrograde, or the South Node going through your sixth house, this is going to be an 18-month transit, okay? Like a year and a half transit. And so I'm feeling like this Venus retrograde is kind of the trigger that's going to put you on the trajectory of whatever it is that you're letting go of in your sixth house. Health issues can crop up at this time, etc. I already made that video. If you guys haven't seen the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra video, make sure that you go check it out. But definitely it feels more so a reevaluation of home, family, what it is that you want in regards to that, okay? So thank you so much, Taurus. I hope that this resonated for you, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're into tarot and you would like to book a tarot reading with me, make sure that you visit www.brattystarot.com. Good luck, Taurus. All right, hello, Gemini and Gemini risings, but more accurately, Gemini risings. Venus is going to be retrograde in your 3rd house of podcasts, content that you create, your local neighborhood, extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, etc. Venus also rules your 12th house of mental health, addictions, spirituality, isolation, and it also rules your 5th house of romance, creativity, children, entrepreneurship. And so with Venus going retrograde in your 3rd house, for some of you, you could be relocating. That could be a thing. You could be moving, thinking about moving to a different neighborhood for some of you. Maybe somewhere more secluded with the 12th house ruling, or with Venus ruling your 12th house as well. I kind of want to say don't do anything too spontaneous, okay? Because I feel like you may end up regretting it a little bit. So just make sure that you're thinking things through. Also, with Venus going retrograde in your 3rd house, being that Venus rules partnership, and being that the 3rd house can be your local community, for some of you, you could be reuniting with somebody that used to date in the past, or somebody that you used to be with in the past, romantically, physically, etc. You could be reuniting with that person, especially because Venus also rules your 5th house of romance. So you definitely could be meeting up with somebody that you've met up with before, in a past time. I'm also wondering here, because the 3rd house can represent writing and content that you're creating, etc., but more so on a creative level, especially with Venus ruling your 12th house as well. And the 12th house can represent poetry, it can represent film, it can represent photography, it can represent writing, music, etc. There could be something that maybe you're thinking about revising. Maybe you were thinking about a writing project, or maybe you started to write something in the past, and maybe you're bringing it back, okay? Things could be a little bit slow. Things could seem a little less busy around this time as well. I do want to say, whatever you're starting now, you may not, something that you're rekindling now, you may end up not going through with it once Venus does go direct for some of you. For some of you, maybe you started writing a podcast a while back, right? And so now you're like, you know what, whatever happened to that podcast that I was writing? And maybe you come back and kind of take a look at it. I do want to say, if you are taking a course of some sort, or not a course, but maybe you're learning something, maybe you are taking a course, maybe you're learning something, you could kind of slow down with that right now. Maybe you're feeling like that's not really aligning with you. That's not really something that you want. With the South Node transiting your 5th house of creativity and love and romance and partnership and children, etc., I feel like this Venus retrograde is kind of a kickstart to this 18-month-long cycle for the South Node in the 5th house. So there's going to be something that this Venus retrograde is going to kick off. And it's something in regards to either you working for yourself, children, romance, creativity, some kind of karma or something or someone that you may be releasing at this time, okay? Maybe you thought you wanted to have children and now you're realizing that you don't. Maybe a romantic partner actually does come back and you guys meet up locally or something like that, and you're realizing, oh my God, like I'm glad that that's over. Like I actually didn't want this at all. It doesn't align with my values. This isn't what I want for myself. And the South Node can also bring people or things back from the past as well. And so with it being in your 5th house, I feel like it definitely could bring back an old partner of some sort. So keep that in mind. Let me just take a last look at my notes here. Also, for some of you, if you did have like a lover from the past or something like that, this could be somebody that you were like keeping a secret or kind of keeping hidden, because Venus rules your 12th house, and your 12th house can be about like hidden things that you can't see. I do feel like whatever is going on here, especially if it's in a negative light, like if something negative is happening, if you do reunite with an ex and it goes horrible, by the time Venus goes direct on September 3rd, it's not going to last long. Okay, whatever it is, it's not going to last long. So like, don't freak out. Okay. This is just something that I feel like everybody's going to kind of have to work through at this time. That is going to be the, pile drive is the wrong word. That is like a trigger to the South Node transiting your fifth house, or the South Node transiting Libra. So I feel like this is just like a jump start of that, okay? So Gemini risings, it was a pleasure. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck with your Venus retrograde 2023. Bye. Hello, Cancer and Cancer risings. Welcome to your Venus retrograde from July 22nd till September 3rd. I hope that you guys are doing well. So for Cancer risings, you guys are going to be having Venus going retrograde in your second house of self-esteem, self-worth, self-value, the things that you're prioritizing, the money that you're making, and the money that you're spending. Venus, the planet of love, harmony, beauty, relationships, etc., rules your 11th house of friendships, groups that you're a part of, social media, groups and communities, humanitarianism. Is that a word? I don't know. And your fourth house of home, family, real estate, and relationship with your mother. So a lot of you guys are just rethinking your finances. You guys are reprioritizing people or relationships in your life, figuring out kind of, or putting a filter on your relationships, what needs to go, who needs to go, what can stay. I'm almost feeling like this is kind of a cutting out in some kind of way. You guys are going to be realizing your worth around this time. And I feel like a lot of people are, but especially with Venus going retrograde in your specific sign, in your specific second house, Venus naturally rules the second house because the second house is Taurus, and the second house is all about your values and valuing yourself and what it is that you're prioritizing, like I said, etc., and your self-esteem, your self-worth. And so Venus likes being in the second house. And so I think a lot of you guys are going to have a big wake-up call in regards to who you are and what you want and what it is that you deserve, especially when it comes to your friendships and the friendships that you're a part of. You guys could be spending a little bit too much money on friends around this time with Venus's squares to Uranus in your 11th house. So be careful of spending too much money on friends just to go back and realize, wow, they actually don't value me, or they have you paying for everything, and you're like, okay, this is not what I wanted. I feel like with Jupiter here accompanying Uranus in the 11th house, there's going to be some lessons that you're going to end up learning, but it's all positive. Like it's happening for you, not to you. I know that's cliche, but I feel like that's what's happening as well. And so just be cautious of the money that you're spending around this time and who you're giving too much time and energy to. For some of you, you could be rebudgeting in some way, okay? With Venus going retrograde in the second house, you could be rebudgeting your finances, realizing, you know, what deserves your money and what doesn't, where you need to be saving money, etc., where you need to be even moving around money in some way. I want to say be careful, like I said before, of the overestimation of your finances or your budget at this time. Just make sure that you're not like going crazy and like gambling or something like that. I want to say you could have a friend that asked to borrow money around this time. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. You could have a friend that asked you to borrow money at this time. And I would say be cautious, because a lot of the things that we end up doing during a retrograde, I don't want to say a lot of things, but sometimes we end up kind of regretting them. So don't make any impulsive decisions, especially with the square to Uranus. It can be something that you impulsively decide to do. I want to say also, there could be something, maybe you're refinancing your home, or maybe you're thinking about buying a home at this time, etc. Maybe you're rethinking your values in regards to your family members. Maybe you feel like some of your family members really don't deserve your time or your energy, or something like that. You could be feeling like family members don't value you as much as you value them. And, you know, the same kind of goes with relationships. And so I feel like with the Venus going retrograde here and the South Node in Libra, Venus ruling the South Node transit, and the South Node going through your fourth house for the next 18 months, I'm feeling like this Venus retrograde is kind of like the kickstart or the jumpstart for whatever it is that we're letting go in our Libra house. So for some of you, you could be leaving a home. Maybe it's too expensive. You know, some of you could decide to, you know, not rekindle some relationships that you have with family members, especially if they don't value you or they're not prioritizing you, you know. And for some of you, you could be letting go of some kind of childhood issues as well of some sort. So I feel like this Venus retrograde is going to really kick off that South Node transit anyway. And so I feel like by the time that Venus goes direct on September 3rd and gets out of shadow in October, I think that you're going to kind of have like a better idea of where this South Node in your fourth house is going to kind of take you. So, you know, look alive. Everything bad that happens during this time isn't going to last. This is just something that's going to kind of teach you something, and it's going to help you reprioritize you and your self-worth and your self-esteem, okay? So Cancer and Cancer risings, thank you so much. If this resonated, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe if you have not already, and I hope that you enjoy your Venus retrograde 2023. Bye. All right. Hello, Leo and Leo risings. Welcome to your Venus retrograde from July 22nd to September 3rd, 2023. So you guys are the kind of the stars of the show. Venus is going retrograde in your first house of self, your appearance, your body, your physical body, your relationship to yourself. Venus being relationships, money, beauty, values, etc. Now it's going retrograde in your first house. So a lot of you are rethinking your appearance, rethinking how you appear to the world, appear to yourself when you look in the mirror. Who are you as a person? What's the relationship that you have to your body? Some of you could be dealing with some self-worth or some self-value issues around this time, thinking like you're not worthy of something or doubting yourself, etc. But understand that, especially with these squares to Venus, I'm kind of wondering if there's a battle that you're having between how the world views you and how you view you. And so remember, I know it's cliche, but the most important relationship that you have is to yourself. And so I feel like there could be something that you're reevaluating, that maybe if you have an audience on the online world, right, they're not going to agree with, you know, something that you're changing about yourself. Be careful of doing something with your appearance that is going to be hard to rewind or hard to change at this time, because you may end up regretting it, okay? Any kind of lessons or hardship that you may have happen around this time are all going to be positive and beneficial lessons, because I feel like with Jupiter here in the 10th house accompanying Uranus, and with Venus making these squares to Uranus, it's going to be a lesson that you're going to take with you for a lifetime. And so I'm also wondering here, because Venus also rules your third house of vehicles, I'm wondering for some of you if you're thinking about purchasing a vehicle, but maybe you feel like you don't have enough money at this time. This is going to be temporary, okay? So just keep that in mind. Like, wait till Venus goes direct, or if you really need to do something, just be cautious of the money that you're spending, etc. You know, you could be really wanting to expand your skill set in some way, or learn something, or maybe for some of you, you may feel like you have to fix a car, so keep that in mind. I feel like with this Venus, well, actually, let me finish this here. So Venus also rules your 10th house of your career, your reputation, and how you're viewed out in the world. I feel like with Venus ruling your third house and the 10th, you could be trying to create like a course or launch something out in the public, out to the public at this time, maybe. And it's something to do with your career, but you could feel like you're at a standstill, or you're not getting something that you desire, or maybe you feel like you don't have the education or the skill set to proceed in some way. For some of you, you could be thinking about finishing up an old skill set that you kind of left in the past in some way. Maybe you want to be a world-renowned author, or be known, you know, with that 10th house here, Venus ruling your 10th house, for something that you've already learned, you know. But for a lot of you, you're going to be, just because the North Node is in the 9th house and the South Node is in the 3rd. Now, this Venus retrograde, to me, this makes me feel like, because the South Node is going to be transiting your 3rd house of, you know, writing, podcasts, your skill set, etc., self-learning. And so I feel like this Venus retrograde is going to be the trajectory for whatever this 18-month cycle is for the South Node that's transiting your Libra 3rd house. So this Venus retrograde, whatever you're learning, whatever you're doing during this Venus retrograde, I think is kind of like a precursor for what's going down in your 3rd house. And so for some of you, you are finally finishing up some kind of skill set, or you're finally learned something to propel your career in maybe a different direction, or you're doing something kind of out of the box with that. And I feel like a lot of you are going to end up traveling a lot within the next year and a half, or you're going to be focusing more so on higher education stuff, higher learning, as opposed to just, you know, your simple skill set, etc. So keep that in mind. Also be cautious of having some kind of issues with superiors or government officials or a boss at this time, especially if you're like changing something in your appearance, like maybe you go and get a tattoo and then you show up and your boss is like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work for me. Like, you know, it could be something like that. So just keep that in mind. And a lot of you could be reconsidering your career, and you could be actually focusing more on higher education in order to pursue maybe a different career or to get ahead in the current career that you have. Okay, so thank you so much, Leo and Leo risings. Please let me know if this resonated for you in the comment section. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. If you're into tarot and you would like to book a tarot reading with me, you can visit www.brattystarot.com. Thank you so much, Leo and Leo risings, and good luck. All right. Hello, Virgo and Virgo risings. Well, I don't know where I was looking. Welcome, Virgo and Virgo risings. Welcome to your Venus in retrograde from July 22nd till September 3rd, 2023. So you guys are having Venus, the planet of love, harmony, beauty, relationships. It's going to be going retrograde in your 12th house of isolation, spirituality, addictions, your vices, bedroom pleasures as well. For some of you, there could be a sexual relationship that you've had before that does come back around. You could be the person coming back around as well, so keep that in mind. But you could end up revisiting a past situation, maybe with someone that you haven't been intimate with for in a long time, been intimate with in a long time, you know, and I just want to say be careful, because you may end up regretting it. Okay, I would like to say that you could end up realizing that, you know, you and this person just do not align in regards to your spiritual or religious beliefs, or, you know, there could be something that is just not it. Okay, and so, you know, a lot of people are going to be making some mistakes during this Venus retrograde, and I certainly don't want you to be one of them. So definitely don't do something that you may regret. For some of you, you may end up having like an affair. Okay, I don't want to like scare Virgo's partner or anything like that, but for some of you, you could be like having an affair, like something that you're hiding, or something that's kind of in the background that nobody can really see. And it could be having you like reevaluate a current partnership or partnerships that you are currently a part of. Okay, like it's giving you maybe some insight, especially with the sun here, which obviously isn't going to be there forever. But anyway, Venus does rule your 9th house of religious and spiritual beliefs. Also, you know, travel. For some of you, you could be thinking about revisiting some kind of place that you've been to before, but maybe like money's tight right now, or maybe you're a part of a relationship right now that isn't really allowing you to do that in some way. The 12th house can also represent, you know, poetry, music, creativity, writing, etc. And so for some of you, you certainly could be writing something. Maybe you're working on something from behind the scenes, maybe something that you had worked on before that you're revisiting now that could actually end up maybe making you some money, or you may think it could make you some money here. Be careful of spending too much money on whatever this project is, so to speak. You may end up kind of regretting it, or especially if you decide to like buy a ticket to like the Maldives or something, and then you look back at your checkbook because Venus rules your 2nd house, and you're like, why did I do that? You know? And so be cautious with that as well. Also with Venus going retrograde in your 12th, this could be you like focusing on your vices. So like, you know, like if you love to binge Netflix, or, you know, Venus can also talk about the things that you put in your mouth, because Venus rules the 2nd house, your 2nd house specifically. It could be about the things that you're consuming. And so you could be like overeating at this time, like by yourself, like just enjoying in pleasures that aren't always that good for you. So I kind of want to say like everything in moderation here. You could end up like eating like, you know, a box of ho-hos at midnight, and then, you know, look in the mirror a week later and be like, why did I do that? You know, a lot of you are also prioritizing a lot, because the 2nd house can represent like priorities. And so a lot of you are reprioritizing your relationships, you know, Libra. A lot of you are prioritizing sleep, the 12th house. A lot of you are reprioritizing your creativity, and the things that maybe you're working on or doing in private. You could be focusing on a lot more meditation or meditation practices, some kind of spiritual practices as well, with the 9th house. But I'm kind of wondering with those squares to Uranus in your 9th house, Venus squaring Uranus in your 9th house, there could be like a rethinking of a spiritual belief, or a questioning of it. I think that whatever kind of lessons that we're learning during this Venus retrograde, or whatever it is that we're reevaluating, I do believe that there's a benefit a benefit that we are there's something that we're benefiting from in regards to that, because Jupiter is kind of cohabitating with Uranus in the ninth house. So there's something of the higher mind that you're kind of learning, like, what are your values? Do you need to be with a partner that has similar religious or spiritual beliefs, etc.? Do you want a partner that travels, ninth, 12th house, reevaluating that. And especially with Saturn and Neptune going retrograde in your seventh house of partnerships, I feel like there's going to be a lot of that already for you. For some of you, could be falling in love with a foreigner as well. Okay, so keep that in mind, especially if you do end up going on a trip. That could certainly happen. Now, for me personally, I know that the South Node is going to be going retrograde for everybody in Libra for the next 18 months. Specifically for you, Libra rules your second house of your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-values, the money that you're spending, the money that you're making. And I know that a lot of you are going to be far more focused on partnering up with somebody, or a partner's finances, or making money with a partner, or your partner's finances, something like that. And also something about maybe sex, like some kind of sexual healing. So I feel like this Venus retrograde is kind of like the kicker or the jump start to this 18-month cycle with the South Node transiting your second house. And so there's definitely something that you are reevaluating when it comes to your relationship with yourself, or your relationship with partners, your self-esteem, what it is that you need to be prioritizing, and possibly for some of you, letting go of an old stream of income. So whatever this Venus retrograde is doing now, I feel like is kind of going to give you an idea of what may be happening within the next 18 months, or it's going to be like that kickstart, like the one that you need, the one that you didn't know that you needed, right? Like it might kind of feel crappy or something like that, but it's a lesson with Jupiter there in your ninth house, something that you're going to be able to take with you and learn how to kind of let go and let God, something like that. And so also be careful of giving too much of yourself in a specific situation with that South Node in the second house. You maybe feel like you've been giving too much of yourself in some kind of area of your life, and now you're kind of rethinking if who or what you've been giving to even aligns with your higher belief system, and or wondering if a relationship aligns with your values or your spiritual or religious beliefs. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Virgo and Virgo risings. If this resonated for you, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section, like, share, and subscribe if you have not. And if you'd like to book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me, make sure that you're visiting www.brattystarot.com. Thank you so much, and good luck. Bye. All right, hello, Libra and Libra risings. Welcome to your Venus in retrograde from July 22nd to September 3rd, 2023. This can be very important for you guys because Venus, the planet of love, harmony, beauty, and relationships, is the ruler of your first house. It is your chart ruler. This is highly important for you guys. Venus is going to be going retrograde in your 11th house of communities, groups that you're a part of, your friendships, your bigger dreams, aspirations, and goals. A lot of you are rethinking your friendships, how much you've been giving to friendships, feeling like some of your friends or the groups or communities that you're a part of, that you've been investing in or you've been giving to, you're not getting the same in return. And you may feel like your friends are pulling back from you in some way. Keep in mind that this is just happening during the retrograde, okay? Things could end up kind of mulling over once Venus does go direct on September 3rd, okay, and gets out of shadow in October. A lot of you are rethinking your biggest dreams and goals and aspirations as well. Do they align with who you are, especially with the South Node in Libra, which Venus rules, transiting your first house of your identity and who you are, okay? There could be some friends that come back from the past that you end up having like a very healing connection with, but it could be something that kind of, it may be shocking, okay? Or it may unexpectedly trigger something in you, like maybe a memory or something like that, that kind of triggers you and who you are, and maybe just a trigger within itself. Like we all are triggered, right? We can get triggered. We all have triggers, etc. And so ultimately this is going to benefit you with Jupiter cohabitating with Uranus in your 8th house. There could be something here where you're transforming. You could be letting go of an old friend at some point, or a part of a group that you're a part of. Something about healing your finances, sexual trauma in general. Like I said, I feel like with this Venus going retrograde, because the South Node is going retrograde in all of our Libra houses in our natal charts, I feel like this Venus retrograde is going to be like a trajectory, or it's going to trigger or make us realize kind of what we need to let go in order to let go of these bigger things with the South Node transiting our Libra houses. So I feel like this is going to be the kickstart of whatever that is, and you're going to realize why something needed to happen, or why you needed to reevaluate these friendships, dreams, goals, aspirations, you know, how much you're giving and how much you're getting in regards to a situation. Be cautious of getting obsessed with a friend or falling in love with a friend at this time. The 8th house can sometimes talk about obsessions, you know, and Venus can represent love. And so you may start reevaluating a friendship and fall in love with this person, and they get totally crazily obsessed with you, or vice versa. Okay. So keep that in mind, you know, unless you like that kind of thing. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure that's it. I do want to say, don't make any crazy changes right now. You know, don't say something that you don't mean because you're triggered by a friend or something like that. You know, kind of like, don't burn any bridges at this time. Just try to like keep your cool and understand that things that are happening during Venus retrograde and things that are starting even may not always last, or, you know, the bad times will end, is basically what I do want to say. Okay. So thank you so much, Libra and Libra risings. Make sure that you comment in the comment section. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Also, if you're into tarot, you can visit my website, brattystarot.com, to book a personal reading with me. Thank you so much, Libras, and have a good one. Bye. All right. Hello, Scorpio and Scorpio risings, especially Scorpio risings. This will resonate mostly for you. Welcome to your Venus retrograde from July 22nd to September 3rd, 2023. Venus is the planet of love, harmony, beauty, relationships, and it's going to be going retrograde in your 10th house of your career, your reputation, how you're seen out in the world, patriarchal figures, and the relationship that you have to your boss. A lot of you feel like your work is slowing down, like your career is slowing down in some way. For some of you, you could feel like you're not being appreciated or prioritized by a boss or prioritized by a father figure. There could be a reevaluation of these work relationships or these patriarchal relationships, especially because Venus rules your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. So there's definitely a reevaluation of that, or maybe feeling like you're putting too much in to a business relationship or a client relationship and not getting what it is that you feel like you deserve. Venus also rules your 12th house of self-sabotage. And so for some of you, you could be realizing how much you've sabotaged yourself in regards to your career and the relationships that you have made with people. And so if you feel like you've been giving too much to a boss, or, you know, you've been coming in early constantly, you know, you've been doing everybody else's work or something like that, and you're kind of getting to a point where you're like, okay, clearly I'm not really being valued in this connection, or clearly I'm not being valued in these client one-on-one relationships of some sort. So for a lot of you, you're kind of reevaluating that in some way. Sorry, I think I just kicked my camera. Also, for some of you, you could be reevaluating some kind of career in regards to beauty. Okay, maybe you guys are thinking that you want to enter a beauty career or something like that. Maybe you want to be a beauty influencer. I don't know. You know, and the 12th house can represent like creativity, things like that. So maybe you're reevaluating a career. Maybe you want a career, like a more creative career or something. I do feel like with Venus going retrograde, and it's going to be squaring Uranus in your 7th house of one-on-one relationships, business partnerships, etc. I do think that there's going to be like an epiphany of some sort, or something maybe shocking that a partner wants, or something that's going to be shocking you that's coming from like a client or something, and you could be like reevaluating that relationship with that person, whoever that is, whether it's a client. You know, for some of you, you could fall in love with your boss at this time. Okay, I just want to say, just word of caution. Okay, you could be forming some kind of relationship with the boss or a higher up or some kind of superior to you. So I just want to say, don't self-sabotage 12th house and formulate some kind of partnership at your work that you're going to end up regretting later. Okay. You know, the South Node is going to be transiting your 12th house for the next year and a half, and it's in Libra. Venus is the ruler of the South Node transit. And so I feel like this Venus going retrograde in your 10th house is kind of the kickstart or the jump, or something that's going to push this South Node in Libra transiting your 12th house. So I feel like whatever positive with Jupiter cohabitating with Uranus in the 7th house, whatever positive lessons that you're going to learn in regards to your career, in regards to relationships, how you're being valued at a job, I feel like is going to be the kickstart for this South node in the 12th house. And the South node in the 12th house is letting go of mental health issues, releasing mental health issues. This could be releasing any kind of addictions, self-sabotaging behaviors, etc. And it could directly affect your career in a positive light, okay? So Scorpio and Scorpio risings, thank you so much. If this resonated, or if you have any questions or comments about this Venus retrograde, make sure that you comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe if you have not. And if you'd like to book a tarot reading with me, make sure that you visit www.brattystarot.com. Thank you so much, Scorpio and Scorpio risings, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right. Hello, Sagittarius and Sagittarius risings, more specifically Sagittarius risings. Welcome to your Venus retrograde. This is going to be happening from July 22nd to September 3rd, 2023. So for my Sagittariuses, you guys are going to be having Venus, the planet of love, harmony, beauty, relationships, and money, going retrograde in your 9th house of law, higher education, your spiritual and your religious beliefs, your relationship to a guru possibly could be being reevaluated at this time in some way. For some of you, you could be rethinking a third marriage or reevaluating a third marriage or just a marriage in general. I definitely don't recommend like getting married or engaged at this time. I don't think doing something brand new like that or even traveling somewhere brand new is necessarily going to be conducive to you. You could end up blowing a bunch of money, or, let's say you get engaged and then you're like, oh my God, this person doesn't really align with my higher beliefs or my morals or my values. You may be wondering as well if your relationship with some kind of guru in your life, you may be reevaluating that connection in some way as well. There could be something here where you feel like maybe your daily routine or your work or something like that could be getting in the way of this higher education or this travel of some sort that maybe you're wanting to go towards. I do think that you guys are wanting to maybe focus on more your bigger goals or dreams or aspirations, especially with Venus ruling your 11th house of your biggest goals, your biggest dreams, your biggest aspirations, also your friend groups and the communities that you're a part of in some way. You guys could also be, reevaluating your routine and your schedule and needing to prioritize something in some way to be able to have these 9th house things, okay? I think for some of you here, you could be getting ready to like release a goal or a friendship of some sort or a community or a group that you're a part of that you feel like doesn't align with who you are or like what you want for your higher self, especially if you're wanting to like go and get like a higher education or something. You may feel like I need to let go of that old dream that doesn't really suit who I am anymore, or the relationships that I really want to be a part of don't really suit me anymore in regards to these bigger dreams or goals or aspirations that I want for myself. If you do have any travel plans, that could kind of go kaput at this time, or things could kind of be delayed in regards to education or travel plans, or something could kind of come at a standstill with some kind of relationship that you have to some form of guru or professor or teacher in your life, whether that's literal or metaphorical. Some of you could be wanting to take time off of work to, pursue a trip of some sort. I would say just be cautious around this time with any decisions that you're making while Venus is going retrograde. The decisions that we're making during Venus retrograde, our head isn't really clear when it comes to our money, when it comes to our relationships, our values, our self-worth, and our self-value also could be at like an all-time low, you know what I mean? Maybe some of you are getting a degree or thinking about getting a degree in regards to health or nutrition or something like that as well. Be careful of any like health issues that kind of crop up that kind of stop you from traveling or something like that. So of course, just like get checked up and stuff like that. I'm not saying anything terrible is going to happen to you, okay? But it's going to be like a revelation of something of some sort. Be careful of blowing a bunch of money around this time as well. Keep that in mind. You know, the sixth house can also represent debts. So a debt could kind of pop up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And you're like, I got to pay this. And so, you know, you end up having to pay it and that's it. But keep in mind that Jupiter is here and it's cohabitating with Uranus. So it's like whatever this revelation is, whatever this shocking thing is, or whatever thing this is that kind of crops up, it's going to benefit you ultimately. It's going to benefit you in some way. So yeah, could be a debt that kind of resurfaces, something like that. Also, you know, the South Node is going to be transiting your 11th house for the next year and a half. And the South Node is going to be transiting through Libra, okay? And so Venus going retrograde right now, which is the ruler of Libra, I feel like this is the kickstart or the kick jump, if that's the right word, to the South Node in Libra that's going to be transiting your 11th house for the next year and a half. So I feel like whatever it is that you're reevaluating, you're learning at this time, you know, any lessons that you're learning at this time or epiphanies that you're kind of having at this time in regards to those matters, relationships, values, money, etc. I feel like it's going to benefit you ultimately, and it's going to make you realize, okay, Jupiter at 13 degrees in Arian degree, this is what I want for myself. This is the direction that I need to go. And that may mean, you know, letting go of some old friends, letting go of an old dream that you thought that you wanted, an old aspiration, you know. I remember when I used to want to be like something, right? Not even gonna get into it, and then like now I'm realizing, yeah, that's not for me, you know. I realized that I wanted to be like a musical performer in some way, until I realized I actually didn't want that. I just wanted the opportunity to express myself, right? I just wanted to, and so there's other ways of doing that. And so I feel like you're just kind of figuring that out at this time. For the next year and a half, you're going to be realizing the things that you do need to let go of in regards to your biggest dreams, goals, aspirations, and something that aligns more with you, okay, and your higher self. So thank you so much, Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. I hope that this helped. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns or comments in the comment section. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you want to book a tarot reading with me, www.brattystarot.com is where it's at in regards to that. Okay, so thank you so much and good luck. All right, hello Capricorn and Capricorn risings, more specifically Capricorn risings. Welcome to your Venus retrograde from July 22nd through to September 3rd. So you guys are going to be having Venus going retrograde, and this is going to be happening in your where is it in your 8th house of sex, death, transformation, debts, loans, inheritances, etc. I would say be cautious around this time. I think that for some of you, if you are expecting some kind of loan, inheritance, something of that nature, something financial that you're expecting, it either could be delayed or it ends up not showing up in the way that you think it's going to. For some of you, if an old sexual partner or partner comes back at this time, you may end up regretting it, or you may end up getting obsessed with this person or they you. So I would just say take caution in who you're re-inviting back to your life, okay? I do want to say, let me see. There could be some debts that you may end up having to take care of. 8th house can talk about debts, okay? Or maybe some money that is supposed to be returned to you may take a little bit longer than usual. Venus does rule your 5th house of love, creativity, romance, children. I want to say, if you guys are thinking about like getting pregnant at this time, there could be a delay in regards to that, or something may not completely like work out at that time. Okay, you guys could be trying for a baby. If that's something that you want, you could be like, oh my God, it's not, you know, happening, whatever it is. There could be something like a child support that has to be paid, or a child support issue that kind of crops up as well. I honestly wouldn't recommend being a fool with finances at this time, okay, especially with Venus going retrograde in your 8th house. Just don't spend anything too crazy. Make sure that you don't go apply for a big loan and just like you realize that your business, maybe 10th house, is not doing that well, and you know you're gonna end up having to realize you can't actually pay it back. A past romance or a sexual partner could be returning to your life. Like I said before, be careful of obsessions at this time. This kind of looks like for some of you, you're allowing an old sexual partner to come back into your life. And once again, I really want to recommend to be careful, because this could end up affecting your reputation in some way. Like maybe you have a friend that comes around and they find out that you let Jeff back in your bedroom, and they kind of make you feel bad about it. Okay, so just be cautious on who you're re-inviting in regards to your life. You may not want to be in the public eye at this time, or you you may want to shy away from any form of attention, especially with the South Node transiting your 10th house of your reputation and being seen out in the world. The 8th house is more like hidden. It's like you don't really want to be seen. You want to kind of shy away from things. So for some of you, you may just want to spend some alone time. You could be rethinking, old sexual traumas for some of you. The 8th house can represent sexual traumas. It can represent karma that needs to be released in regards to business partnerships even. You could have an old business partnership that kind of comes back around in some way. And you could end up regretting it. Okay. I'm not saying that you're going to regret it for all of you, but like I said, just be very cautious of who you're allowing back into your life. I want to say as well, because we're going to be having the South Node in Libra that's going to be transiting our Libra natal houses for the next year and a half. And so I'm kind of feeling like whatever this is that we're reevaluating in regards to where Venus is going retrograde in our natal charts, I feel like this is going to be the trajectory, or this is what's going to kickstart or trigger something in regards to what it is that we're letting go of in regards to your 10th house specifically, or the Libra houses in our charts. So you may be letting go of a career or an old outdated like reputation at this time. Okay. And you maybe end up like focusing more on like wanting to build a family or a home or etc. But it's like you're needing to reevaluate finances and stuff in order to be able to have that in your life, or reevaluating a sexual partner or something like that. Like what are your values? You know what I mean? And so anyway, just maybe some delays, some reevaluations at this time. Don't go blowing a bunch of money, spending a bunch of money, end up blowing a bunch of money on like a business, or end up blowing a bunch of money on a child, or end up blowing a bunch of money on a partner, a sexual partner or something like that to try to impress them. Venus and Leo wants to impress, and then you end up like completely and utterly regretting it. Okay, so just be cautious around this time. Capricorn, it was a pleasure. Let me know if this resonated in the comment section. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And also, if you want to book a tarot reading with me, www.brattystarot.com is where it's at in order to book a one-on-one with me. Thank you so much, Capricorn and Capricorn risings, and good luck. Bye. Hello, Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Welcome to your Venus retrograde from July 22nd to September 3rd. You guys are going to be having the planet of love, money, harmony, beauty, and relationships, and it's going to be going retrograde in your 7th house of one-on-one partnerships, relationships, whether intimate, business, etc. So for some of you, if you are in a partnership, there could be a sense of feeling like maybe your partner doesn't value you, or maybe feeling like a partner is kind of pulling away from you. You could, of course, be that partner as well. So keep that in mind. To me, this could go both ways, especially if you're a feminine, okay? But keep that in mind. It could go either way. I feel like there's a reevaluation of these partnerships, or a slowing down of maybe like clients, your intimate partner, or just a partnership in general. Now, Venus is the ruler of your 4th house of home, family, real estate, your childhood, and it's also the ruler of your 9th house, which is, law, travel, foreign travel, higher education, gurus, things like that. Also third marriages. Okay, I can sometimes talk about that. Now, for a lot of you, you could be wanting to maybe you want to go on a trip with a partner, but you feel like you really don't have the money, or maybe there's something going on in the home. I don't know, maybe something breaks down in the home, or maybe there's something that's going on in the home that's kind of keeping you and a partner from going on that trip that you wanted. Okay. Some of you could be maybe trying to sign off on a home or something like that, sign some kind of contract or deal or whatever the case is. And it could just be taking like a really long time. Maybe the realtor is taking a freaking really long time or something like that. But there's a reason, is what I want to say, because Jupiter is kind of cohabitating with Uranus in your 4th house of home and family, etc. You could be reevaluating your partnerships when it comes to your home and your family life. Your relationship with your mother, a relationship with a family member who kind of acts as a guru to you, maybe feel like they're pulling back in some way, maybe feeling like they don't value you in some way, and a reevaluation of those relationships is definitely going to happen. You guys are definitely the sign, I'm not sure if I said this already, where an ex could absolutely and 100% come back. It could be somebody that you even used to be married to, because 9th house can kind of talk about that. You may be wanting to, ninth house can kind of also talk about like celebrations and things like that. So you may be wanting to like have fun, you know, Venus and Leo wants to have fun and wants to show off. And you could be maybe wanting to show off a partner at this time, or wanting to treat a partner in some way, or they you, but feeling like the finances aren't really there. Okay. Or, you know, maybe you feel like a partner is kind of being cold with you. And so there's really like no reason to celebrate kind of thing. I feel like with this Venus retrograde, you may be wanting more attention from whoever this is. Like I said, it could be a guru, ninth house. It could be a family member, fourth house. It could be an intimate partnership, etc. Feeling like maybe even relationships with clients from your home business even could be kind of slowing down as well. I want to say, you also may be wanting to learn something at this time, or maybe even get a higher education at this time, but maybe feeling like you can't really do it right now because maybe a partner is holding you back, or someone is holding you back in some way, I want to say. There could be something going on, like a reevaluation in regards to your spiritual or religious beliefs of some sort, or kind of wondering if a partner actually aligns with those spiritual beliefs, or a partner could be wondering this about you, because this is, seventh house is like other people. So it could be that, but it could be you as well, kind of doing that. As far as everything else goes here, you know, I feel like this Venus retrograde being the ruler of this 1.5 year long transit of the South Node going through your ninth house in Libra, I feel like this is going to kickstart something. There's something that you're reevaluating in regards to clients or business partnerships or one-on-one romantic, intimate or romantic relationships, that is going to trigger or kind of give you a hint on maybe what you are going to benefit from, or how you're going to benefit. And I say that because Jupiter is here with Uranus. So there may be something that you end up benefiting from during this Venus retrograde, even if it is a lesson, that is going to make you kind of realize like what's going to be happening for this 18-month long transit in your ninth house of higher education, learning, gurus, celebrations, marriages, etc. And spirituality and your religious beliefs. So I feel like once Venus kind of goes direct, things are going to be a lot more clear in regards to the things or the people or whatever it is that you need to let go of, okay? So all in all, pretty good. Thank you so much, Aquarius and Aquarius risings. If this resonated for you, have any questions or comments or concerns, make sure that you do comment in the comment section. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and share this video if you have not. Also, if you're into tarot readings, you can visit me at www.bratty'starot.com and book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. All right. Hello, Pisces and Pisces rising. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Venus will be going retrograde from July 22nd till September 3rd, 2023. Venus, the planet of love, harmony, beauty, relationships, and money, is going to be going retrograde in your 6th house of health, habits, coworkers, open enemies as well, debts even, and excuse me, did I just screw up my camera? Okay, we're good. And coworkers or the work that you're doing. So with Venus going retrograde in this house, I'm wondering for some of you if an old enemy kind of, you know, comes back around and you're like, oh God, you know, it could kind of come out of nowhere in some way. It could happen where you just kind of see this person in your day-to-day, like in your local neighborhood or something. You're like, oh my God, what's this person doing here? You know, there could be an old debt that kind of crops up. There could be like an old debt in regards to like a car or something. The 3rd house can represent vehicles, or maybe you're needing to like fix a car or something like that. Or, you know, maybe while you're on your way to work or you're commuting to work or something like that, you're realizing that you need to reevaluate something in regards to a vehicle. Like, oh my God, I don't know if I can really drive this anymore. Okay, it could be something like that. That's not going to be for all of you. There could be this feeling of like work kind of slowing down at this time. And even though the sun is going to be into Leo, you know, almost the entirety of this transit, damn near, except for like the shadow period until October, you know, so there's going to be a lot of energy that you're kind of putting into 6th house matters, but you kind of feel like you're going nowhere, you know, like you're swimming against the current in some way. And so I think I just want to kind of tell you to, like, slow down a little bit and just kind of go with the current and not go against it. You know, there could be a reevaluation of the work that you're doing. Do you feel appreciated at work? Do you feel appreciated by coworkers? There could be a reevaluation of that. There could be somebody that you used to be in business with that could be kind of coming back around. You know, Venus also rules your 8th house of business partnerships, also intimate partnerships as well. Be careful of like getting intimate with a coworker or something like that, and then you end up regretting it, and then like, you know, people local of you like end up finding out about it or something like that, like, oh my god. Okay, so be careful of the drama. Some of you could be transforming. The 8th house can talk about transformation. There could be a reevaluation of like your diet or your fitness routine in some way, something that could be a little bit more healthy for you. Okay. I also feel like there's something also like a reevaluation of your schedule, your habits, also your eating habits. You know, Venus can talk about the things that you're putting in your mouth. It's more so like the 2nd house, to be honest. And Venus is the natural ruler of the 2nd house because the 2nd house is naturally ruled by Taurus. And so you guys could be definitely reevaluating your diet or something like that as well. And keep in mind, if there is like something like car trouble, I feel like it's going to benefit you in some way. And I know that sounds weird, but it could be this thing like where a check engine light comes on, and or you listen to me and you're like, let me just go make sure that I go and get my car checked just in case, you know, and then you end up finding out if you didn't do it, like your engine was going to, you know, catch on fire. Okay, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. It's obviously something very extreme. Okay, but it's something that's going to benefit you because Jupiter is here cohabitating with Uranus in your 3rd house in some way. There could be something that you're reevaluating, like maybe you're writing something for work, reevaluating a thesis or something that you're writing for work of some sort. I also wonder if for some of you, you're speaking to like a CPA or a financial consultant about your finances in some way, reevaluating your finances, or, you know, I wouldn't really recommend like making any big purchases or taking out any like hefty loans at this time. I just don't think that this is really the best idea. I think that with Venus being the ruler of this South node transiting your 8th house in Libra for the next year and a half, I think that this is going to be a trigger or is going to help you realize something that you're needing to reevaluate, so that way it can help you better let go of this. And since Venus is kind of retrograding in your 6th house and you're going to have the North node here in your 2nd, this is about the money that you're making and the work that you're doing. So this is you asking yourself, is the work that I'm doing really aligning with my values? You know, the partnerships that I'm keeping at work, does it align with how it is that I want to make money? Your self-worth around your work and your self-esteem around your work. You know, I almost am getting like imposter syndrome, okay? Especially if you guys are like end up starting a new job or a new line of work. Just walk in there even if you don't feel confident, you know what I mean? An inheritance could come at this time as well. 8th house can represent inheritances, but only for you to find out later that it's like not really as much as you thought, or like that's actually not happening. So there could be some kind of money that you're supposed to receive or that you think you're supposed to receive and you end up not. Okay, so just be cautious. Like I said, there also could be debts that you're realizing you kind of have to pay at this time. Anything else? I kind of want to say that is it. I definitely think that you guys are rethinking your job, though. I do think that you're rethinking your job and thinking about maybe even a new way to work, or a new job, or something that you're creating for yourself that's actually going to help your self-esteem, especially with Chiron there. That's in your 2nd house where the North node is going to be transiting. You know, and so I feel like there's maybe if you've relied on a partner for a long time or relied on government assistance, you could be letting go of that. And so whatever this reevaluation is in regards to your work, you're reevaluating something in regards to that. So it can build your confidence or your self-esteem in some way, and you can stop relying on one thing and rely on yourself, if that makes sense. Pisces and Pisces risings, thank you guys so much. Make sure that you comment in the comment section. If you have any questions or anything, comment in the comment section. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're interested in a tarot reading, make sure that you visit www.brattystarot.com. I offer one-on-one Zoom calls and pre-recorded readings. Thank you so much, Pisces, and good luck to all of you. Bye.